Bird and Melanie Billings were inside their spacious home when investigators believe men dressed as ninjas launched a commando-style raid on their compound. In just a few minutes, the Billings were dead and a safe inside was missing.
For that matter, I'm not capable of what happened there. You believe my van was that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I think I need an attorney then. No, I've watched Law and Order a whole bunch. I've seen exactly. This is exactly how they do it, just like this. Ask everybody the questions.
They're the actors, man. That's pretend. This is real life. This is real.
Right.
This is Leonard Patrick Gonzalez Jr. He's a karate instructor who has just realized that he will not be getting away with a double homicide he committed while robbing the residence of Bird and Melanie Billings, parents of 16 children, many of whom are mentally disabled. What he doesn't realize, though, is that his own father will soon turn on him, as well as many of the other members of the team he assembled to carry out the robbery.
And I didn't ask him why, he was just like, I killed him. But he said, if we say something, they're going to kill us. And my mom and them and my whole family.
It wasn't even supposed to be a robbery.
Pat said he killed both of them?
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure he said he iced both of them in those words.
Those were the interviews of Patrick's father, Leonard Patrick Gonzalez, Frederick Thornton, and Wayne Cauldron, 3 of the 7 men who participated in the robbery-turned-homicide one fateful evening in 2009. Before long, detectives were chasing down Mexican mafia leads, a private boat, a real estate agent, and a safe buried under bricks, uncovering a tangled web of scheming that would lead to 1 death penalty conviction and lengthy prison sentences for 7 more people. On July 9, 2009, a van and an SUV pulled up to the sprawling mansion of Bird and Melanie Billings in rural Pensacola, Florida. 3 men dressed in all black jumped out of the back of the van. They looked like ninjas. One was wearing a jacket with a double dragon karate insignia on the back. The men split up. One moved to the side garage entrance, the other 2 ran to the front. The door was kicked down, and the men entered the house. Inside were 11 of the Billings' 16 adopted children, ranging from toddlers to preteens. Many had severe mental or physical disabilities.
Yes, Patrick went on in. I seen a child. I stepped in. When I seen the child, I turned around and started easing out the door.
What happened next was a nightmare. Bird was asleep in bed when the men entered. He got up, walked out, and was told, "You're going to die." One of the children remembered that clearly. The man counted to 3. Bird kept yelling, "No way, no way." Then came the gunfire. Bird was shot 7 times. One of the kids said he saw his dad grab the back of one of the men's necks, like he tried to fight. Melanie was shot in the chest, execution style.
And I didn't ask him why, he was just like, I killed him. And it was like, if we tell anybody, that's why I don't really want to say nothing. I know I got to say something before something happened to me. But he said, if we say something, they're going to kill us. And my mom and them and my whole family.
The men moved fast, taking a safe and then leaving. But it wasn't the one they came for. The safe they grabbed had paperwork and some small valuables. The one they left behind, just a few feet away, contained hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. By 7:15 p.m., they were gone. But not before the Billings security cameras caught everything on tape. Law enforcement quickly tracked down the red van and brought Leonard Patrick Gonzalez Jr., who goes by Patrick, in for questioning.
Okay, and we appreciate you coming here today.
Whatever I can do. I don't, believe me, when I saw the pictures on the TV, I was like, damn, and I know the guy, so I'm thinking.
You know what guy?
The guy that this is about that thing in Beulah, right? That's what my mom told me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was like, shit.
You saw the picture of the van on TV?
Yeah.
Man, that's your van.
Excuse me?
That picture is the same van that's in your yard, right?
It's similar. Similar. Very similar to that van, but no, it's not. It can't be the same van. It's not the same van.
Okay. Why is that?
Because it can't be the same van. What do you mean? Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, why can't it be?
Because that, I mean, that van it's been over there. I mean, it couldn't have.
It's been at your dad's place?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess then you know about the death investigation. You know about Mr. Bud.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we'll start, how do you know him?
I've known him, let's see, about 2 years ago. He made a donation to Project Fight Back.
What do you mean by donation?
He gave us $5,000.
$5,000.
Not a loan, nothing. He just gave it to us. He said, I like what you're doing. Yeah.
That's how you met him?
Yep.
Okay. And then what happened from there?
I mean, I haven't spoken with him or seen him in a couple of years.
In a couple of years? Did you ever have a studio out in Pace?
Yes, that's the one that he helped me with. Well, maybe a year and a half ago.
What was the name of that studio?
It was Project Fight Back, but it was Ultimate Martial Arts. We were teaching the UDT stuff and that stuff there. It's been about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
The Ultimate Martial Arts?
Yes, sir.
And that's on, where's that at? I've heard of it.
That was on Woodbine. We closed down.
Woodbine, that's right, okay.
Didn't work out or what? Not enough people?
The economy.
I hear it, yeah, it got bad, didn't it?
Mhm.
So now was he business partners with you, or did he just loan you to money? How'd that
No,
work?
no. I went to Cab and asked him for some money and to see if I could get some money for the studio and for Project Back. And he said he might know someone that'll make a donation. And originally I was hoping he would be a business partner, but he said, I can't do that. He says, but I will do this. And he freaking gave us $5,000 like it was nothing. Just here you go. Just like that. First time anyone's ever done that.
How much you give you?
5,000.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Very
So
big. He was very generous. I mean, the thing is, I even told him I'd come train him and his family and everything. That's why I'm just like blown away by the whole thing. I told him I'd teach him defensive tactics and everything.
So you met him through Cab?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of hooked you up, and you only met him at one time?
One time. No, I came in another time and saw him. I came in another time. In fact, I met him the first time, and then I came in, and that's when he gave me the money. Because I gave him a proposal about Project Fight Back and everything and information. That's how I met him. I mean, he was interested in UDT. I mean, he's very security conscious. In his office, he's got monitors where he can see everything in his house all the time. I mean, this guy was well prepared. I'm surprised this went down like this without a shootout or something, you know. He was pretty security conscious guy.
Patrick reminds detectives the house is wired. His way of saying he'd never be foolish enough to rob it. The Billings house had cameras everywhere, outside covering the perimeter of the house and inside, including every room except the couple's master bedroom. According to their nanny, April Spencer, these cameras were for making sure their 11 children could be monitored for safety. It was Spencer who first saw the horrible aftermath of the shooting after the Billings' 10-year-old son, who has Down syndrome, called her screaming after witnessing what happened. But if we were to believe Patrick Gonzalez, those cameras were for more than just keeping an eye on his children. Those cameras were keeping his family safe from the Mexican mafia.
So you get home and you get on the computer.
I probably did.
But you don't remember what time you got home?
No, I mean, it's probably around, I don't know, 8 or 9, something like that.
Was your
Could've
wife
been
home?
too late. Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
kids, of
Yeah.
course.
Mhm.
Okay. How did you wind up hearing about the murder?
On the television at 10.
Through the news?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, they said it was a red SUV, and I'm going, I know that guy. I've got a red SUV, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what I mean? And then they came back later and said it was a red van. And by that time, I was like, really? Oh, that's just great. That's what I thought at first. And then I heard about the wife and realized that was what happened. I thought, that's really messed up. Everybody knows Mr. Billings was involved in a lot of stuff. So, I mean, that's...
What was he involved in?
Just I mean, he's dead now.
Yeah, so help us out. Tell us.
I know
Maybe what you think might not be significant might be significant to us.
I don't
You know
want
what
to
I
get
mean?
in any trouble with anything because I sure don't want to testify against certain people. I don't want to do that, so I'm not gonna. I don't want to put myself in jeopardy. So we'll just say that he had business partners that were rather unscrupulous. He was known for it on the street, at least I'd heard. And
Like who? I mean, we're gonna find out.
Let me say this. I ain't,
yes, sir.
you might not be in a position to feel this way. Okay, you're a suspect in this right now. That's what we're sitting here trying to tell you from the get-go. We're trying to
No, I
eliminate
didn't know
you.
that.
Like, why do you think you're here?
Why do you think I was asking you where you were at?
I thought you were asking everybody that has a
Everybody's a suspect right now.
Everybody.
Everybody's a suspect.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
But you're not in that position to sit up here and tell us you're not going to tell us this. You need to let us be the judge of what we need to know. We're trying to help you out in this situation. And I wouldn't worry about what's going to happen down the road as far as testifying.
I've got 6 kids. That's what I'm
I
worried
can
about.
appreciate that, but you're not going to be, your business is not going to be put out in the street, what you're saying.
What I'm saying stays in this room.
Well, right now it will. I mean, but are you asking?
It's all rumors in the window that I know anyway.
Well, tell
It's
us about the rumors. That's all we're asking. What do they call you, Pat? That's all we're asking of you, Pat. We're not asking you to make shit up.
And and again, you might not think it's, like you said, it's rumors and stuff. It might be something that we need to know and that we don't know. Because you know how
y'all already know this, I'd be very, very.
You know how the
surprised.
street works. Sometimes y'all know more than we do. Most of the time, matter of fact.
See, you could be sitting here reconfirming what we already know, or you might have that one piece of that puzzle that we don't have. But you don't need to sit there and hold it back from us right now, because you're still in the mix of everything. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to say? Everybody's still in the mix.
I'm not worried about me because I haven't done anything.
But
I just don't want these other guys coming after
But
my
you don't know
kids.
what everybody else is saying about you, though, either.
I'm not worried about what anybody's saying
Okay.
about me.
Well, I'm just saying, just be, be straight up with it. You think it's a rumor? Tell us the rumor and let us be the judge of that. That's all I'm asking. You see what I'm saying?
It's okay. Rumored that he has business acquaintances with certain Mexican people. Is that enough?
What?
That are in Alabama.
How the hell would that be? I mean, I hate to be rude, and I shouldn't even touch, but how would
It's
that?
not because they're Mexican.
How would that be enough? Hello?
What kind of, is it?
La M.A.
Who?
La M.A.
What is that?
The Mexican Mafia.
Okay.
He's
I do
associated with them? That's what you're
Okay, I
hearing?
do need him.
That's all I heard.
All right.
What kind of dealings we talking about here? Like I said,
I just heard that he cleans money for him. That's all I heard.
All right.
And that he.
Who's his contact person with? Who was his contact person with?
I don't know. I don't know.
What part of Alabama?
Lillian. That's all I know. I don't know anything else more than that. At this point, it's getting kind of. This is a scary situation to be in. I don't want to talk about this. I mean, I really don't. I really don't. Not unless you guys could guarantee me that I'm safe from anything that they could do.
Well, nothing.
I'm not going to step on these people. Well, these are the kind of people that I think. That's what I think happened over there. You know what I mean? I think
Why
they
you
killed
think
this man and his wife. I mean, I watch the History Channel. I watch Gangland. I know about all that stuff.
So that's what you're thinking. It was a hit.
That's what I think.
Why do you think that?
Gangbangers. I mean, the Mexican Mafia. That's what you're thinking.
That's what I think.
But what makes you think that? Just give me your opinion. What's your opinion of the whole thing?
The way that it happened, I mean, to hurt a woman, I mean, no one would, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing, the way it happened was just too, You know what I'm saying? And then the same thing in Alabama right after that. I'm thinking that's
What happened in Alabama?
when then the same people do something in Alabama to a husband and their wife at a bar or something like that.
Well, I don't know how that.
And that's where these guys are. So
You talking about the same time that this went down?
Yeah.
Well, we've been so busy on this, I hadn't had time to read the paper or watch TV, to be honest with you.
Well, I thought they connected them together.
Oh, I don't know.
No, we haven't.
Y'all haven't got in touch with the William people or Foley or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we talked to them, we ain't connected anything.
Well, all I know is that that's a rumor on the street. It's just a rumor on the street. I don't know anything more than that about that, as far as them. As far as the vehicle, y'all are welcome to inspect that, you know.
Well, we're probably going to do that.
That's fine. I mean, got nothing to hide.
Byrd Billings made his money running a network of used car dealerships across Escambia County. One of them, Hispanic American Auto Sales, was co-managed with Henry Cab Tice, a longtime associate who handled operations, and a man Patrick Gonzalez would name-drop during his police interrogation. Cab had brought in a Spanish-speaking manager named Silvano Gonzalez, no relation to Patrick, to help the business reach more customers. But when the dealership started struggling, Silvano told Cab he had access to a loan. He secured $20,000 and then dropped the catch. The money, he said, came from the Mexican mafia. If they didn't pay it back, they'd come after everyone: Cab, Byrd, even their families. The fallout wrecked their partnership, and it's reported that Cab and Byrd ended up hating each other, and that Cab possibly owed Byrd hundreds of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, Patrick Gonzalez Jr. had been circling around both men. He worked for Cab at Autoland and gave him private martial arts lessons on the side. At one point, Byrd even loaned Patrick $5,000 to help him open a dojo. The dojo folded within months. Patrick never paid him back. What all this did, though, was plant a seed in Patrick Gonzalez's mind that maybe Byrd Billings had connections to the so-called Mexican mafia, and that he could use that to deflect blame from himself. Unfortunately for Patrick, the detectives weren't buying it.
I don't think. Anyways, that van doesn't even match the same van that was over there. I don't think that's the same deal. Because I can look at it and see.
Oh, just by these pictures there?
No, by laying your eyes on the thing on television and that picture, and then looking at what I got. In fact, the one on television was that's a different vehicle.
Which one?
That one was a lot nicer than the one that.
But that's the only one they showing on TV right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Look how distorted this shit is. Okay? This is what you seeing on TV. This may not necessarily be what we got.
Yeah, y'all got digitizers and all that kind of stuff. You know, y'all can.
So you can't tell me for sure this is not your van.
Yes, I can. I can tell
Only
you
thing
for
you
sure.
can tell me right now that you weren't driving it that day.
But I know that van was there. That van was not involved in any crime.
Was you at your dad's house that day?
Yes, I did. I came by there.
That night.
Yes, and by the time I got home, my dad was 3 sheets to the wind. So I'm telling you now.
But what I'm trying to say, I'm not accusing your dad or you. I'm just saying you cannot confirm everything he does.
No, not if I'm not there. No.
Exactly.
No.
That's all I'm saying. You don't know what he did the hours you weren't there with him. You
I know he was drinking.
Well,
Probably took a Flexeril on top of it.
Do you understand where we're at? And why we're trying to eliminate you?
Yes, I do.
Tell me
totally
why.
get it.
Okay,
I
tell me
totally get
why.
it. First of all,
So I know what you think.
Anybody that's got a van that's similar or matches the description of what you're looking for, you're gonna question. I understand that.
Not only
that's one part.
That's one part.
And then
Now
I
what
saw that
else?
you have Cab's name written down, so you probably know that I know that him and Cab weren't the best of friends, which I know, and I'm dear friends with Cab. Believe me, I never had any problem with any
So
of those
now we've
people.
got you with a red van who knows our victim.
Yeah, I know. I understand. That's why you're calling me.
You're in that group, that circle. There's a circle.
Right.
Yeah, you're in it.
I understand, but the thing
let's
is,
work-
I didn't do anything.
Let's work our way out of it then.
I didn't get my way in it. I'm just going to give you whatever questions you ask me. I can give you an honest answer.
You're in it, but you're in it. Help us get you out of it. Because you're in it, whether you like it or not, how uncomfortable it is.
It's very uncomfortable.
I understand that.
It's extremely uncomfortable being in this room like that. I wish there was still a mirror in here or something.
Why?
So what, so you can see yourself?
Well, you know, it's the... Never mind. It's stupid.
We didn't have a mirror in this room.
Ever.
It's stupid. It doesn't matter.
So you've been down here before and seen a mirror, huh?
No, I've watched Law and Order a whole bunch. I've seen exactly... This is exactly how they do it, just like this. They ask everybody the questions.
They're the actors, man. That's pretend. This
Art
is real, this is
imitates
real
life.
life. This is real.
Right.
You're in the big leagues. This is the big leagues.
I understand that. But I also understand that
The radio room called me. They said the front door.
in the van there are two different things.
Well, like I said, that you don't know the evidence we got, and I believe we've got the right van here. But,
But you believe my van's the right van? The van that was...
Sir?
You believe my van was that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I think I need an attorney then. In fact, I do need an attorney if we're doing that.
Nobody's accusing you of doing it.
Just
but
told
that's-
me that
that's
my van...
I didn't tell you nothing. I said that's my opinion.
That means a
Yes,
lot.
sir.
You're the
Okay.
chief investigator.
I'm not a chief investigator.
You're an investigator of the Golden. I've watched the show.
And the show's gonna get you in trouble.
We'll talk to him. Watch the show, then you know it's TV.
Yeah, but... Like, don't try to, you know...
Watch the show.
Patrick's story fell apart almost immediately. The very next day, July 12, 2009, his own father, Leonard Patrick Gonzalez Sr., who goes by Leonard, would tell detectives everything. Leonard was an accomplice and tasked with being a getaway driver for the operation. Florida Assistant State Attorney John Molken would later put it this way. It was a father and son kind of escapade. Instead of going fishing, they were going to commit a robbery. According to Leonard, it was Patrick who planned the robbery from the beginning, who decided who would go in, who would stay behind, and how they'd split the take. He said a man named Wayne Cauldron was there too, and likely the one driving the van that night. And then there were the others, 4 young black men he didn't know by name, only by nicknames like Slim and G. He said they showed up on the day of the attack, carrying big guns, and followed Patrick's lead.
You pull in the driveway, what happens?
Everybody jumps in, doors kicking open. Freeze on the ground.
Okay, all right,
And that's all I thought it was.
okay.
Restraining people.
All righty, I'm gonna show you a photograph of the house. Could you mention where they went in? And it's a nighttime photograph, but could you point to those doors that you're talking about and just put an X mark where you're talking about? And then
One,
put your initials by it if you don't mind, or we get up.
two,
Bobby, can you holler for a Sharpie because it's not coming out?
and then there's one right there.
Okay. Okay.
Can we get a Sharpie, son? James, we need a Sharpie.
And there's one, and you're telling me right here? Right here?
Yeah, on the
Okay.
side.
All right, I'm gonna go, I gotta get a darker pen. What I want you to do is to initial those, okay? And then you said you were still in the van. What did you do next?
Got in the driver's seat.
Uh-huh.
They told me to get in the driver's seat and turn it around. Well, I ain't gonna get in the driver's seat and put the damn only 2 doors getting into the back of it on the outside. I would say I'm not plumb dumb, but shit, I was there, so I must be.
Okay. All right. And then what happens after that?
We get down in the yard, doors open, I think everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden,
Okay.
What'd you think when you heard that pow, 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 pow?
I like to shit on myself. I thought, oh dear God, no. And I'm hoping they're just shooting in the ceiling or some kind of shit. Trying to scare the hell out of somebody.
Okay. And you said earlier there were all kind of different types of guns, but do you remember if Wayne had a big gun or a handgun?
He had a handgun.
Okay. Do you remember if Pat had a big gun or a handgun?
We'll just grab one of our county regional.
I think he had a handgun.
Handgun. Do you remember if the blacks had big guns or handguns?
I think big guns.
Big guns? When we say big guns, are we talking like this or, you know, like this, or how describe to me what you mean by big gun.
Street sweeper.
Okay. All right. Okay. They come back, they get the van, where do you go?
We go down about 2 or 3 blocks, I don't know the name of the road. We take a left, swap everything out of the van. Wayne and I take the van, take a right, go straight back to my house. And we got down around Mobile Highway and where that Alabama Produce Mart used to be. And County Mountie comes slinging around the corner. I said, oh shit, we know where they going. So,
okay. And y'all went on to your house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
What happened there? What happened at your house, Mr. Gonzalez?
Put the van up, put the van back at the thing.
Was there any discussion about splitting up the stuff there at the house?
Yeah, when everything gets taken care of, then we'll split it up.
Who said that?
After it did.
Okay. Did he have the stuff?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who's got it?
I apologize, I need to steal Bobby real quick.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, you're at the house. At this point, is this where we decide to paint it and all? Okay. Very briefly, tell us what you did to the van.
Painted the shit out of the side of it. That wasn't changing the color, and we were scared. I said, well, hell, give me some uric acid, I'll change the color. So I run about 50-50 uric acid, as you can see, one side's red, one side's purple.
Okay.
Do you know where any of the guns are or might be now?
No, sir, I have not the vaguest idea, so help me God.
I believe you. Now, what about Wayne? Has he said anything about his gun, where it is, or what he did with it? Do you know what kind of gun he had?
No, I don't.
When the black men came over to your house the day y'all went to do the robbery, who introduced them to you? Was Wayne there and introduced them to you?
Wayne was there, Patrick was there, and the 4 blacks, and everybody just kind of, my name's Frank.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to ask you. What names did the blacks give you? I'm sure they may have given you false names.
One of them was Slim. One of them was G.
Was what? G?
G.
Like the letter G.
Correct.
Okay.
The other one was, I want to say David or Ricky or some kind of shit like that, but I'm not sure.
Okay. That's good enough.
Okay.
That's it. No.
Let's see, I think we put that cover.
Yeah, let's talk about, let me step out and see and talk to some other people and see. I'm considering letting you call your son and try and convince him to come in and talk to us. Will you do that for me?
I wish y'all let my ass go.
Let me, All right, for the record, Mr. Edwards, you're stepping out, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a little mop-up work
Okay,
for this official statement,
okay.
and then I'll turn it off from
Okay.
there, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For the record, is there any chance of me going home tonight?
No, sir. I'm sorry. I can't let you go.
Detectives then brought in Wayne Cauldron for questioning. Cauldron was a longtime associate of Leonard Gonzalez, often described as his right-hand man. He'd worked with Leonard on odd jobs and car repairs, and had known Patrick since he was a teenager. He would also wind up cooperating with the investigation, naming Patrick Gonzalez as the ringleader. However, early on in the interrogation, the detectives were not happy with his inability to put the pieces together.
See, I've been sitting here watching. You've been what with us now? A couple hours, hour and a half.
I guess.
It's about a
You
little over
want
2
to
hours.
get this off your chest. You want to tell us show us the big picture. Okay? You said something about you were concerned with the safety of your girlfriend. I can appreciate that. We told you what we can do. But Wayne, I'm gonna tell you something, son. This is not gonna go away. How old are you?
41.
So you're still a young man.
Shit. He tells me that shit all the time, 41.
You're still a young man, dude. You still got a good your second half of your life to go. But you're gonna sit here and watch them. And once we leave this room, you have just pretty much thrown it away. I mean, and I'm sure they've told you your cooperation and your statements will be beneficial to help us out there on this, but it can also be beneficial for you. We don't really need it. But my question to you, are you sitting here telling me, are you ready to tell me you're ready and you're willing to take that chance in front of a jury? Are you willing to take that chance that you're gonna walk by just what you told us? You ain't told us nothing. I can see you want to tell us, you want to be straight up with us. And just because you got caught up in this shit, man, don't make you a bad person. It makes you a person that made the wrong choice. Do I believe you intended for anybody to get hurt? No, I don't think so. I think once everybody got there, something went wrong and somebody panicked.
I don't know. I mean, there's surveillance tapes in the house. That's what they keep telling me.
Mm-hmm.
I know evidently there was some outside because y'all got a picture of the van.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all picked that van up.
We ain't hiding it from
Ray Charles can see that.
you.
Yeah. And you showed me pictures that were taken of the bodies.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't surveillance, that was us taking pictures.
That's the product that was left behind. You know, if you're not
That was
concerned,
nasty.
listen, it was you're damn right it was nasty.
And that's why we want to know answers.
Wayne, look at me, bro. I don't care. Mr. Billings may not have been the best person in the world.
I don't even know.
Listen to me. Okay, that's fine. But that man and his wife didn't have that. There was no need for them to go out that way.
No, sir.
They didn't deserve what they got. Those 8 children now they're without parents. Those 8 children has got this handicap, this ability, dependent on those people. That's no more. Okay? Think about the children. You got kids, correct?
Yes.
I've got kids. Wayne, if this happened to me, I would hope somebody would work as hard as we've been working and the people that we've been talking to was willing to step up to the plate. You cooperating and being straight up with us tonight will go a long way. later on down the road. It will go a long way. But like he said earlier, we're getting to the point now where we're finished, you know, I'm tired. We've been working this shit since Thursday night. I'm tired. I hadn't been able to see my family. I only go home to take me about an hour power nap, a shower, and then we're back out here. You don't want to walk out this door like this. This is not the way you want to go out. I beg you to be a man and step up to the plate. And I'm asking you, just tell us your involvement. You say you didn't shoot anybody.
I didn't shoot anybody.
Okay. Tell us what you did.
I couldn't even tell you where to get a gun here other than my mother-in-law's got. Well, my girlfriend.
I heard that a while ago. Okay. I heard that. I want to know what your involvement is. I don't want to hear this. Just tell us what your part in this was. What your part in the, what you know, and what you did during this time.
But after some time, Cauldron finally breaks down and starts being more cooperative with the investigators. Once again, Mexicans come up, but once again, the detectives aren't happy with what they believe is selective memory loss.
The people didn't deserve to die.
No, they didn't. That's why you should tell us the damn truth.
See, I see remorse. I see remorse in you, brother.
If you sit down, you telling me everything, man.
I ain't supposed to be mixed up in this.
Set yourself free. Come on, man. Come on, have a seat. You ready to tell me?
It wasn't even supposed to be a robbery.
It wasn't even supposed to be a robbery, huh? Were they supposed to not?
Hold on.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. I sat down, you gotta tell me now. Shit, that was a deal.
Alright. Look.
So you want to talk again?
I think so. Are you wanting to talk?
Help me with the cuss. That's the last
A
time.
lot of people, a lot of this is out of Gulf Breeze.
A lot of this coming out of Gulf Breeze. Tell me what's going on out of Gulf Breeze.
I'm just guessing it, but we were supposed to go, and literally, it was supposed to have been in collections. Okay, I didn't know anything about a robbery. I didn't know anything about a murder until Friday. I didn't even know if that had anything to do with. Matter of fact, I didn't even know anything about the van being involved in it until this morning. I've been around that van. I worked on that van. I am not.
Wayne, quit bullshitting.
Let me pause you just a minute. You and Leonard drove back to Leonard's house in the van right after the homicide. Right after the murder, y'all returned to Leonard's house in that car, that van. I got people putting you there in that van that night in that yard on Palm Court.
Yeah, you got his brother.
Who? Whose brother?
Leonard and Frank's fighting constantly.
Leonard and Frank didn't drive that van back to his damn house.
I didn't say that.
So he saw Frank's picture when I picked it up. That's where he's getting that.
I know Frank ain't even told us that. I hadn't even talked to Frank.
I talked to Frank. That's why I got his freaking picture. But he didn't tell me that shit. You just saw his damn picture.
Hey, we've talked to a lot of people since Thursday night. Hundreds of people. That neighborhood, I grew up in that neighborhood years ago. You know where Billings Court is?
I think so.
That's over there in Brentwood Park. That was my running neighborhood when I was a kid. People That's a close. It used to be a close knit neighborhood. Though, and the people that's living there now, watch out for each other a lot more than what we used to. But there's people on the streets at all times of the day and the night over there in that neighborhood.
Yes, I know that.
I'm tired of playing this game, this little mouse and cat and mouse shit. My back hurts, my knees hurt, my head is hurting. I got to go home and see my young.
If you don't want to talk to us, tell us now. If you want to talk to us, tell us now. I mean,
Say that.
come on,
Let's go. Man, you make a terrible mistake, bro.
Patrick Gonzalez, he's arranged all of this. I don't know.
so you're wanting to talk to him?
Listen, yes.
Okay. Tell me everything, because
Hey,
I ain't going through this shit again.
hello.
Okay.
Do we need to sit down?
Just stand right there. You can stand for me.
All right. Patrick Gonzalez, what?
He approached me at what I'm supposed to be a robbery. It's supposed to be him picking up money.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he collected you. Where did he collect you? Contact you at?
At his dad's house.
On Palm Court.
Yeah, I met him Tuesday. And, I didn't know anything that was going on. There was honestly supposed to be either picking up to make a delivery or picking up money, I don't know, for some Mexican drug dealers. Excuse me.
That's fine.
I don't know everybody that was there, I really don't.
Tell us the ones you know.
After a night in jail, Cauldron decided to iron out his story and gave detectives a clearer version of the events.
Let's start from the beginning, okay, because you're missing part of it. Let's not talk about the actual crime. Let's go back to the trailer because you're jumping on me, man. Somebody was out there staking the place out. I know that, okay?
Okay.
And you know that.
That I really don't know.
Okay. They went out there,
Being honest.
all right, they went out there before,
Okay.
all right, and came back, or stayed in the area, okay? The Palm Court thing, let's go back to that, okay? When you were at the trailer at Palm Court and all these people showed up, go from there. You were jumping on me.
Everybody just got in.
No. You're missing some things, man.
I remember being there. And me and Leonard's job was drive the van, drop it off down the road from where the place was so they could get in it and go collect the money.
Where'd y'all park it at when you drove it down there?
It's like a little pull off. I don't know if it's an old way station or
All right. Do me this. This is how it's gonna have to happen. So you can remember. Close your eyes.
okay.
You leave Palm Court. Y'all are in the van, right?
Yes.
Leonard's driving.
No, sir.
Who's driving?
I started out driving, and then we changed up. I drove up past where the place was.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd y'all do that for?
To meet up so we could find out exactly what it was.
Okay. How were y'all gonna talk?
We dropped the van off.
No. How were y'all gonna talk to each other?
Telephone.
You mean radio?
Supposed to have been walkie-talkies they had. Green and white and gray, I think, telephones.
Cell phone?
Yeah.
So, you were driving up there, you parked it on the side of the road, right?
Yes, I didn't have a phone or anything. I took
You remember seeing something on the left, don't you? That you thought was a way station, right?
Yes.
Did you park the van on the right?
I parked on the left.
Okay, you parked it on the left. Then what'd you do?
Got in the vehicle with the other guys.
Got in whose car?
The gold or silver colors.
Alright. Who was driving that?
I'm thinking it's this fella right here.
Alright. Who else was in the car?
Me and Leonard and two other black guys.
Alright, then what'd y'all do?
We run up and they run into Pat.
Who went? Say again, who went?
We in the vehicle, everybody in the vehicle drove up the road. A good bit. Ran up with Pat. Some more vehicles, people changed around in vehicles. Went back. They jumped in the red van, 3 or 4 of them did, drove around the front.
Who's 3 or 4 who?
Leonard and I think 3 of the black guys. One of them was roving up and down the street. Me and Pat were supposed to go across the fence, which that didn't work out too good. And time got around there too. They were in the house before we got there.
Who was in the house?
The black guys, they done went in.
Kicked the door in?
I don't know, I didn't honestly see if they kicked the door in, turned the doorknob, but you know they were in there.
You were in the back of the house?
Back side.
You and Patrick?
Yes, Patrick went on in. I seen a child, I stepped in. When I seen the child, I turned around, started easing out the door.
Who did the 1, 2, 3?
There again, I don't know.
But it was yelled 1, 2, 3.
I'm thinking that, I mean...
Did anybody say before the 1, 2, 3 you're gonna die, or was that after they kicked the door in?
I don't remember hearing anything but you're gonna die.
So you went through the back door and saw the child, right?
And I went out there and met Leonard at the van.
You ran to the front?
Around to the side of the driver's side of the van.
Did you go through the house to get there?
No, sir.
Run on the outside?
Now we're right there by the door on, I don't know if it's not the very back, but maybe the end right here.
Okay. And what happened after that?
A few minutes later, everybody's piling in the van. And got the road. And the gold SUV stopped, picked everybody up but me and Leonard. There was nothing left in the van. I don't even know if they got anything.
Where'd Patrick go?
With them fellas.
Where'd they go?
Back to get, I guess, his SUV.
Which was parked where?
Somewhere up the road.
Where, at a gas station?
I don't know if it was a gas station, side of the road. I don't think it was a gas station, I'm pretty sure. He parked it on the side of the road. But I do know, hearing that Pat off the 2 suspects.
Who told you that?
Pretty sure Pat did. Pretty positive of that.
Pat said he killed both of them?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he said he iced both of them in those words.
Did you see him with a gun at that when he was having that conversation?
I seen him with the gun, yes.
But Cauldron's story would differ from that of Frederick Thornton, who would turn himself in on July 13th. Thornton was one of the 4 black accomplices that neither Cauldron nor Leonard Gonzalez could recall the names of. The other 3 were Gary Sumner, Donnie Stallworth, and Rakeem Florence, who was just 16 at the time. They were connected to Patrick Gonzalez through a small custom body shop called Fifth Dimensions in Fort Walton Beach. Gary Sumner ran the shop and acted as a middleman, helping Gonzalez recruit the others for what was sold to them as a high-stakes robbery with a massive payday. He introduced Thornton, Florence, and Stallworth to the group and hosted planning meetings at the shop after hours, where Gonzalez distributed weapons and laid out the plan. The younger recruits, Florence and Thornton, were brought in with promises of millions and told they'd be robbing a drug dealer, possibly someone tied to the Mexican mafia. According to Thornton, he, Florence, Stallworth, Cauldron, Leonard, and Patrick all pulled up in the red van together, with Sumner following in the Gold Explorer. He also says he never left the van. Both statements differ from Cauldron's account of how things went down. Both try to distance themselves from the double homicide that occurred within the residence.
Yeah, you're here of your own free will, you're not under arrest. You know you have the right to have a lawyer present.
Yeah, you contacted us.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't want a lawyer at this point, correct? No. Okay. Tell us what happened.
Okay, one day, we had me and my brother-in-law called me.
Who's that?
Rakeem.
Okay.
We were sitting outside. We were sitting outside smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gary pulled up.
Who's Gary?
A friend of ours.
You don't know his last name?
No.
Okay.
And they asked us, do we want to go ride or whatever? So we had to ride. So we had a road out there to Pensacola.
I'm fine.
Oh, okay, we had a road out there to Pensacola. And we was gonna go, we were just smoking or whatever, so they was talking about they was gonna go get some more weed. Put some down. So we had gotten the red van. That's what they always go get the weed in the red van. So we had gotten the red van.
Who does the red van belong to?
From my understanding, his name was Frank. That's what we call him.
Okay.
Frank. That was his van. So we got in his van, and we all went over there. And we had got in there. Me and Rakeem, we was in not the first room when you get in the van, but the second room.
Mm-hmm.
We was in there. And 2 was in the front and 2 was in the back.
So who's in the van with you?
Only people that I knew was in the van with me was me, Rakeem, Stalls.
Who's Stalls?
He's one of our friends. Well, just a friend I know through Gary.
You don't know his name?
Nah, just Stalls.
Okay, look, how do you say that?
Stalls.
Stalls?
Yeah.
Is he a black guy or white guy?
Black.
Okay.
Was Gary with you?
No, he was in another car.
What kind of car were they in?
I think 10. Or 10.
10 what?
Explorer.
10 Explorer?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Gary's car?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was in that car? Do you know?
Just Gary.
Just Gary? And in the van, it's you? I'm just trying to get this straight.
Rakeem and Stalls.
Okay, Stalls, Rakeem, and him. Okay.
And who else was in the van?
Me, Rakeem, and Stalls. And I don't know the other people. I had just met them that day.
Can you describe them?
One was white, tall. I don't know how tall he was. He had long hair. And then there was another white one with a low cut fade. He was about my height. And then the other 2 back there, I don't even remember how they
Did they live in Fort Walton?
No. Only people that lived in Fort Walton that went out there was me, Rakeem, and Gary.
You got Gary's last name?
No, I don't know Gary's name.
So how many total were in the van?
Like 6.
6 total?
Who's the 6th person? I got Stalls, Rakeem,
And the other 2 I told you about, yeah.
a white male with long hair, a white male with a low cut fade, and you. Who's the other person?
I don't know. I just know.
Okay. So is it a white male or black male?
White.
Okay. So there's 3 white males
Yeah.
and 3 black males.
Yeah.
Okay. And Gary's in the
Okay.
other van, the Explorer.
So they got out, and then Raheem stayed in there, because we got our regular clothes like this. So I stayed in there, and they went in there.
Where'd they get out at?
Like, what you mean?
You said they got out.
Yeah, they got out the van at the house. They had pulled up at the house.
What house?
The dude's house, I don't know his name. The people that they killed.
Okay. I just want
They had got out, and they had went in the house or whatever. So I guess they said they was going to go buy some weed. So me and Raheem stayed in the truck. Because they didn't know us like that, so they came in, did whatever, came back out, and I think his name, Patrick.
Patrick, is that the other black man? The other white
No,
man?
yeah, white man. He came out with a gun and was like, I killed him. He was like, I killed him.
You say why?
I didn't ask him why, he was just like, I killed him. And it was like, if we tell anybody, that's why I don't really want to say nothing. I know I got to say something before something happened to me. But he said, if we say something, they're going to kill us and my mom and them, my whole family.
So now, detectives have a clear picture of who was involved in the robbery turned double homicide that occurred at the Billings residence on July 9th, 2009. But there's one missing piece: a real estate agent named Pam Long, who was Patrick Gonzalez's landlord, his employer, and a quiet facilitator in the days leading up to the crime. Pam let Patrick and his crew use an antique shop she owned for planning. She even joined them on a daylight recon drive past the Billings home, trailing behind as they scoped out the layout. And according to multiple witnesses, Pam relied on Patrick when she needed someone to be intimidating. He'd helped her with evictions and other jobs that required a heavier hand. She also reportedly provided the guns used in the robbery. If we go back to Wayne Cauldron's initial interrogation, we can see how he slowly but surely implicates Wiggins. First, though, he reiterates that the whole thing was Patrick's idea.
It's all Patrick Gonzalez's idea. He come up with the idea, and I don't know everybody was in it, okay? I don't know who all had guns. I do know that they come out of Gulf Breeze.
Did you see guns?
When I was in Gulf Breeze.
When you were in Gulf Breeze, who did you see with guns?
We went in a house.
Whose house?
I don't know the lady's name. I really don't. I mean, I'm being honest. But I know where it's at.
Okay, so you went to a house in Gulf Breeze and you saw guns. What guns?
Fully automatic rifles.
And you know how to get to this
pistols.
house?
Pretty sure.
Let me ask you something. What the hell are you all scared about if it's just a couple of black guys and Patrick there? Are you scared of Patrick? Okay, so you're scared of Patrick because he showed you these guns in Gulf Breeze at some woman's house? Was he friends with her? Did he portray them as his guns?
No, just access. And I don't know, I mean, I really thought it was all BS, you know, because all I hear is this mafia that, or this or that. And I'm like, you know, okay.
Well, do you have some Mexican mafia people with him? Have you ever seen any Mexican mafia people? It sounds like you got Patrick, his dad, and some black guys hanging out.
Me and Leonard were hanging out for a while, just sitting there talking. Just me and Leonard.
Okay. Are you talking about the day of, or are you talking in general?
Basically every day, but that day in the morning.
Okay.
And some in the afternoon.
So that day y'all are talking. What are y'all talking about? Anything that's going to interest me?
Probably not, because it was trying to get work.
Okay. So the subject of this, I mean, he gave you this hypothetical a few weeks before and you turned it down. What made it come up again?
I don't know.
He just show up out of the blue. Hey, let's go do some business. I mean, what happened? What was the catalyst?
Oh, he showed up and I think he called and talked to his dad.
Okay. What was said? What did you hear on your end of it?
I'll be right here. I'll be here when you get here.
Okay. And Leonard gets off the phone. What does he say? Hey, my son's coming over?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means.
And then I was asked if I would ride.
By who?
Pat.
So you wait. Patrick comes over there.
Yeah, me and Leonard's been talking.
Okay. So Patrick comes over to you and he says, you mind going ride? He offers you this job for $200. When you getting paid?
In a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, especially when everything's cleared.
Everything's cleared. And you took that to mean what cleared?
Either the people had counted money or weighed dope or whatever.
Okay. And well, he got these 3 or 4 black males also there. Why does he need you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
And he doesn't show you a weapon. You don't see him with a weapon.
No, sir.
You don't see any of them with weapons. And they're all wearing casual clothes. It sounds like they can go out, huh? Okay. I don't get this story. So this is what you were scared to tell me.
I don't know the lady's name, what the guns are, but PL is what they call her.
PL is what they call her. Some lady in Gulf Breeze has guns.
Pam something.
Pam something. You still didn't answer my question.
I think that's where the house is where I seen the guns.
Because
the street turns in and goes something like this, and it's right here. Got it red. I can't tell you the exact address or street name, but I do know it shows red 70 something, 69, 68, 70s Buick GTX or GTS, whatever those things are.
GTS?
I think so. One of those old hot rod GS. GS. And maroon Chevy minivan, one of the new ones. Don't know how new. It's got the automatic sliding door with the push of a button. I think it's only got it on one side. I think she's got a bunch of houses. One of them's on Soundview.
One's what?
I think it's Soundview or something like that. She's supposed to own a bunch of houses with real estate, what have you, this, that, and the other, I don't know.
What kind of guns did you see over there?
Revolvers, handguns, pistols, shotguns, rifles.
The red minivan and the Buick were both owned by Pam Long. After the robbery, the group fled the scene and split up, switching into the red minivan. The minivan was also caught on camera days earlier in the parking lot of the local Walmart, where everyone involved in the robbery, except Leonard, was seen on camera after buying boots, the same boots that were identified later by an imprint in the door from when it was kicked in during the robbery. On July 13th, the same day that Wayne Cauldron mentions Pam, so does Leonard Gonzalez.
This house over in Gulf Breeze, Pam?
Yes.
Okay, you've been to that house before?
Yes, I have.
Have you been there? Who you there at that house with?
My son, Patrick.
Just you and Patrick?
Yes.
Was Wayne with you?
I don't know if Wayne ever went there or not. He might possibly have went there one time with us.
Okay. Do do you recall can you describe the house? Is it the house with the stilts, up off on the stilts? It's off the ground?
The back is up on stilts.
Okay.
The front has about a 40-foot front porch.
A step? You got to climb up some steps on it?
About this high.
Okay. Remember what color it is?
No, I do not.
What was your reason? What was the reason y'all were out there that day?
I was out there to give her a price on doing some work on one of her houses, and she has a wooden deck on the back side of her pool, and I quoted her a price of $250 to pressure wash, to pressure wash the flaking paint and stain off of it, and then with her buying the stain to restain it.
Okay.
Also, she had asked me to bid another house that she owns. I could take to it, but I couldn't tell you where it is. It's right near the last street before you go over Bob's site. Just take a right, and it's back in there. She wanted me to wash that house for $300, and I told her there was no way in hell I was going 40 feet on that house for $300.
Okay, what's Pam? Was Pam got blonde hair?
Yeah, I would say dirty blonde hair.
Okay. Is this house in Gulf Breeze Pam's house? Is that where the guns are kept?
I don't know where the guns are kept. Pam has numerous houses.
What does she do for a living?
Think she owns Pam Long Realty. She buys houses, fixes them up, turns them over at a profit, leases them out, whichever. Think she has a construction company.
Is this the Pam that owns that like that flea market down the road on 98? Or trade center?
Antique Mall.
Antique
yes.
Mall? That's the same Pam? Okay.
By July 15th, the police had tracked Pam down on her boat at the Wharf Marina in Orange Beach, Alabama. It's unclear whether they were trying to flee, but later she mentioned in a statement that the boat engine wouldn't start, and then the police swarmed the location after she received a call from a friend. She and her boyfriend, Hugh Wiggins, were brought in for questioning.
Okay. Pam, I appreciate the opportunity to meet with you. As I indicated to Charlie, just briefly outside, in order to protect Charlie and me and you, we're recording the conversation. And I wanted to talk with you directly. Charlie talked with me and indicated that you might have, and I haven't given you Miranda rights. This is not admissible in court. It's not that kind of discussion. Indicated to me that you might be able to be helpful regarding this murder case that we've been working on for the last 4 or 5 days. And I explained to him that I felt that this was your best opportunity to be helpful, and that I would like an opportunity to speak with you directly and explain that to you. Charlie agreed. I know he's talked with you, and obviously you've agreed to listen to what I have to say. And talk to you a little bit about, in general terms, about some information we have. We have quite a bit of information that we've gathered just in the last 4 or 5 days. There is information coming in to us today, this morning at lunch, and it's clear to me that we are probably going to charge you with accessory after the fact, if not other charges. Now, in terms of the evidence we have, we know that your van had the safe put in it after the home invasion occurred. We know that based on what the witnesses have told us. You were in the van. And it's important to us that we get the safe. We don't have the safe. There's other evidence that may implicate you as well. I'm not sure the extent to which the evidence in your house implicates you. You probably know more about that than we do. But we do know that the problem you have, the main problem you have, is that that safe was in your van, and we want that safe. Now, I'm in a position where your lawyers told me that you don't feel comfortable talking today, that he doesn't feel comfortable recommending that you talk. My purpose in meeting with you is to convince you that it is in your best interest to talk today. We are eventually, in my opinion, going to make a case, and at that point in time, it's unlikely, Charlie and I have discussed it, and I'm not going to absolutely positively rule out anything, but I'm not going to be in any mood then to talk to you at all.
Well, I've heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
Well,
And I don't want you to say anything, Pam. Let me and her further discuss this and let me give her my best advice, and we'll proceed accordingly.
Pam Long would end up cooperating with law enforcement, describing her role in the scheme and giving the location of the safe, which was buried beneath a pile of bricks in her backyard. But there was one final betrayal in the saga. Her boyfriend, Hugh, wasn't really her boyfriend. He was her husband, but they were married illegally. Hugh Wiggins was still legally married to another woman, Connie Weiss. When she heard about the case, she called police and told them everything, that she and Hugh had never finalized their divorce after separating more than a decade earlier. She also said that Hugh had always been fascinated with guns and had recently asked their adult son to buy a van. Her son said he'd also overheard a conversation at Hugh's house between Hugh and Leonard Gonzalez Jr. about using zip ties to tie people up. According to Weiss, Hugh had once said, "If you have to kill them, and liked to talk about being a gangster. Investigators took it seriously. With Pam already in custody, Hugh agreed to cooperate. In exchange for limited immunity, he told officers where to find the safe, which Pam had also already confessed to. He also told them where to find the guns. The 9mm handgun used to kill Melanie Billings was hidden in the back seat of his 1971 Buick Grand Sport, which had been dropped off at a repair shop by Pam. That gun, a Springfield Armory XP9, was recovered wrapped in paper and tape. Hugh also admitted he'd driven with Pam to Moss Point, Mississippi to stash more firearms with a friend, Ed Denson. Investigators later recovered 2 Mossberg 12-gauge shotguns, a MAC-90 assault rifle, a Ruger Mini 14, and an AR-style rifle, along with ammo and magazines. Patrick Gonzalez Jr. was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. His father, Leonard Gonzalez Sr., who served as a getaway driver and confessed early, received life in prison without parole. Wayne Cauldron, Donnie Stallworth, and Rakeem Florence were also sentenced to life. Frederick Thornton cooperated with prosecutors and received a reduced sentence. Gary Sumner was convicted of lesser charges related to the robbery. Leonard Gonzalez Sr. later died in prison in 2015. Pamela Wiggins Long ultimately took a plea deal and was convicted of accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. She was sentenced to 28 years. Wiggins Long died in custody in 2015. Her husband, Hugh Wiggins, received immunity in exchange for cooperation and never served a day, despite the fact that he helped hide the weapons in the safe, delivered them across the state lines, and concealed the murder weapon in a car he had taken in for repair. No credible ties to the Mexican mafia were ever discovered during the investigation. And then there's the security footage. According to prosecutor John Mulkin, during the trial, they walked Rakeem Florence and Frederick Thornton through the security video footage. Both men narrated their roles on tape, saying, "That's me," and identifying others, bringing the crime scene to life in what Mulkin described as almost a color commentary right there from the guys who were inside the house. On the night of July 9th, 2009, 2 parents of 16 children were gunned down in their own home, while some of their kids watched helplessly from nearby rooms. The men behind it all left with the wrong safe, missing the fortune they thought they were stealing, and setting off a chain of betrayals that unraveled within days. In the end, nearly every person involved pointed fingers at each other, but none of it could make sense of the cruelty or bring back Bird and Melanie Billings.